The environmental injustice here looms large. Plant Vogtle specifically, many types of environmental justice having to do with health problems, financial setbacks or promises.
This is a 95 to 98 percentile area of cancer rate, so we're the highest level in the country, right here in downtown Augusta. You have not only the nuclear impacts, but Savannah River site ran off of a coal plant for many, many years and contaminated the river with mercury, the ground with mercury. So these people it's like a triple whammy for folks living in the community. And then you add pesticides on top of it, so from agriculture.
Heat is a pollutant under the Clean Water Act. Well, plants 1 and 2 are in violation of the Clean Water Act. They're using the Savannah River as a cooling device. But in that same investigation, we found that there was contamination with tritium all the way down to Savannah, the city of Savannah, nearly 100 miles.
When does it stop? I think it's a money situation that can only come to the owners of the factory, not those who have lost land, not those who have children who seek to understand when you take things from individuals throughout a whole state and offer them zero back, only to tell them you need to keep supporting us, which means you can't support yourself.
Current residents, and a good percentage of the current residents are the relatives of former slaves. This particular county had a large number of plantations.
In the early 70s, we had some land. My granddad had land down here, and they wanted the land. They came and got it through the court system. And when they got through the court system, and they took control of it, it was unjust the way they done it. And certain people got a certain amount of money for land, and the African-American people got less money. Well, he bought the property in 1919, the first property that Georgia Power have now is across the creek. We call it across the creek. And it was 300 plus acres. And it was sold through the court system. And that's what we were raised out there in that area.
Family land is a way to build wealth. It's the key for survival. It's the key to freedom in this country, to have property to pass down to your children. That was taken away. In addition to the land itself, was they robbed their future. And they did it in a way which is unconscionable, unfair, sneaky, and underhanded. And it should not be allowed to stand.
Well, we realize that progress have to take place, but it's not easy when you've struggled all your life to acquire something and then it's taken away from you. Right now, we have just met with a company that's coming into South Richmond, and we are putting some things in place that will keep the neighborhood safe. Alarms and how much toxin should be in the air and that type of thing. And so far we have been instrumental in getting these companies to work with us to make sure that the citizens are safe.
There's funding, a lot of funding and revenue does come from this plant. Burke County receives a substantial amount of money, and it has been poured into our school system, which we have a great school system, partially because of that.
With the Biden administration reaching out to us and us being a part of the anchor institution for this very topic, bringing nuclear companies to Augusta, we're looking at within the next 3 to 5 years actually strengthening those pathways in our schools. But it's actually a K-12 concept. You want to start as soon as kids enter the school system, teaching them about ways to conserve energy. So we're excited about this path.
Augusta has been home for my entire life. I wear a dual hat in that it is my job, as I consider the sole economic developer driver as mayor, to create higher paying jobs for this community that are safe, that are beneficial to this community and beneficial to the environment.
Behind this beautiful landscape are nuclear power plants currently being constructed. The first time in over 3 decades, Plant Vogtle 3 and 4 in Waynesboro, Georgia. Power plants are known to cause cardiovascular disease, cancer, cataracts, and more health problems. But for the folks who live here, these power plants are providing jobs and much needed housing in a poverty-ridden area.
The community liaison personnel came to us with this idea of doing some rehabilitation, not remodeling, to some of the homes in the 10-mile radius first, to just give the people a better place to live in because of the economic conditions of this county.
Grateful, 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 and I feel good. I'm just thankful for all the ones that came out to help do the demolition. And I just want to say thank you to all of them, and that it was a job well done.
We've had meetings out there at Botford Church full of people, and they went through the whole process of explaining some of the waste that can leak into the water table, and people was telling out what the cancer rate is out there. My feeling is people need to get more involved. Need to know what's going on in the community, not through the radio or television, but they need to get out into community meetings and hear really what's going on in the community so they can have some knowledge of what they can do to protect themselves. But if you depend on the television set, the radio, and word of mouth, you're at loss. You really don't know what's going on.
One person speaking alone may not be heard, but many people speaking with one voice cannot be ignored. Those are the words of our founder, and that's how we've grown to be the organization that we are today.